PvE mode. You know, I told a certain podcast co-host about the PvE mode, and that was his reaction right there. Yeah.
We don't talk about that game. I'm not convinced that y'all like that game, bro.
Even it's the PvE. Come on, it's PvE.
It's just the end game for the moment. People won't be playing that next year. They'll be tired of it.
I mean, I would play PvE if they kept updating it. Come on, man. It's Marvel Zombies. Come on, man.
All
right. Okay.
Marvel.
What if he wanted to play with you, man, and he said, "Just admit you hate me, DC."
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Hey, here go. Wait. Here go the $1 million man himself.
What's going on, BZ?
Big Two BZ leading the streets to the promised land in the YouTube world. I'm proud of BZ, man. He puts in the work, man. Every time I see that guy post something.
We've been knowing this, man. He's up there, man. We've been knowing. We've been knowing. It's good to see you guys today, man. Hope y'all are having a great day today. Got some very interesting topics to talk about that we don't probably have enough time to cover everything, but, you know.
I'm here to pop my shit.
That's how it goes.
Microsoft, you got to see me, dog. They got to see me.
They haven't been doing anything they haven't done before. That's what we're going to talk about today. But I think everything is good to go. You guys can hear us just fine and everything, right, Chuck? Just want to make sure there's no random fucking sound explosions or anything like that. Let's see what else. All right, cool. We'll be getting started. What'd you miss? Oh, we'll talk about it. I'm sure you've seen some of the stuff we'll talk about today, or maybe you haven't. I don't know. I'm not really online as much anymore, so I can't say if you've seen it or not, but we'll find out.
Hey, and those of y'all, look, before we get started, man. Nah, I don't know if I want to go there yet. Go ahead and get started, because that's a whole nother bag of French fries that I don't feel like frying right now.
Yeah. Not being online must be great for gathering topics. Well, let me say when I say I'm not online, I mean I'm not on Twitter as much. Let me say that.
He's not on socials. Put it like that.
I go to other avenues for my news sources. Yeah. I don't just go straight to Twitter, because that's more opinion.
That's my job.
Stuff. Yeah.
That's my job.
It's actually been more like mental health thing for me, just like that. And I don't have a lot of time nowadays to just Twitter, and it's so fucking toxic. So it's pointless to have conversations on Twitter because you can't. Like you legitimately can't have great conversations with people. So
really? Threads? I've been avoiding threads.
Threads is where it's at, really? Huh? I don't think I've actually even signed into it or used it much.
Yeah, I never even signed into Threads because I just thought it was just another. Yeah. My whole focus is about to be, I'm about to be the king of fan base.
Yeah.
I just feel like that's going to be
you seem like somebody who has your head on straight and you're not participating in a lot of the high school-esque content. That's all I'm going to say. That's why I appreciate people like you.
No, don't get me started. Yeah. We've created a whole nother high school out of something that, never mind. But anyway, see, y'all be trying to get me to go on these rants, all right?
Nah, no rants needed, man. No rants needed.
Save it for the Patreon.
All right, let's get started. Hello, and welcome to episode 248 of the Super Weapon Podcast, most overpowered podcast on the internet. It's your boy Darius the Artist, and as always, got my co-host DC here with me today.
Yes, it is DC coming straight out of the Matrix with that hot fire shit. And today, I got my shady glasses on for our audio listeners. I got my shady Ray glasses on. That's what I'm calling them. Because today I might be throwing a lot of it because somebody done pissed me off.
You're looking real Morpheus right now, man, with the shades, man.
I look like I was in Paris doing some robberies. You see the all black.
Oh my gosh! Hey, have you seen the detective? The guy looks like he is straight Sherlock Holmes, who is apparently investigating the. If you guys haven't heard, for our
Does he look
listeners,
like he wear that taco hat, like the Sherlock Holmes
you know,
taco hat?
like dead serious, he looks like Sherlock Holmes. It's pretty incredible, actually. But if you guys don't know what we're talking about, the Louvre, the famous museum in Paris, was robbed a few weeks ago. I think it's been a few weeks now. They didn't make off with the Mona Lisa or anything, but they did make off with some priceless diamonds and stuff. And all I'm gonna say is just look it up. I can't. Me explaining it to you would ruin it.
We've been talking about this
Yeah,
all week
please
because
just
it's
look it
been
up.
so. After watching Animal Kingdom, I'm like,
Yeah.
how is this even possible?
Hey,
But the
man.
more you read about it, the funnier it gets.
Yeah, it's something straight out of a movie. That's all I'm gonna say.
There was no kind of James Bond type. You would think there was some level of sophistication
Mm-mm.
with this crime, and no, it wasn't. It was a snatch and grab. That simple. They
Yeah.
lifted themselves up with a lifter to the window, broke in the window, smashed and grabbed, jumped back out the window and left.
Yeah.
You would think,
No, please look it up, Weenie. Please, it's incredible.
yes, you would think a place that has priceless jewelry and the Mona Lisa would have top flight security. They don't, but I'm pretty sure they will now.
I mean, it's just another place for them to cover. So it's the world
And
is
wait,
an interesting
wait.
place. That's all I'm gonna say.
Let's add this too. They didn't do this at nighttime. They did this in broad daylight when the place was opening.
Yeah, it was middle of
And
the
got
day,
away
so-
on scooters. And got away on scooters.
Yeah, so please look that up, guys, if you're interested at all in those types of things. It's no one was hurt either. You know, say that they didn't hurt anyone. They were really Ocean's 11 with it, in and out, smash and grab type deal. But yeah,
Crazy,
man. Welcome again. Once again, man. Welcome to the podcast, guys. Happy Saturday. I know you guys missed us last week. You know, me and DC took some time away. DC's mom's birthday was last week, and mine was as well last weekend. So just kind of wanted to kind of take some time, you know, reset, relax, you know, just kind of reflect on the year was kind of big for me. Just, you know, looking back on, you know, as I get deeper into my 30s, you know, I try to be a little bit more intentional about, you know, the time I spend here. Let me say that. And it was, you know, it was a good birthday, man. And I'm happy to still be here. Thankful, blessed to still be here. But, you know, we're back today talking about some very, very, very interesting topics. As is tradition, whenever we're gone, usually some sort of, you know, big news happens. And, you know, the big one, the first thing we're going to talk about today is AI and the video game industry. I know we've kind of touched on it before for some of our longtime listeners. If you guys go back to some of those earlier episodes, you know, we've talked about how AI is here. It's not going anywhere. And now we're starting to see announcements from studios who are integrating AI into their development pipelines. Namely, EA is partnering with a company called Stability AI to rebuild how games are made. That's their words, not mine. And Krafton, the PUBG publisher, they also have some other pretty well-known gaming titles under their belts. They're investing 90, I think this is supposed to be billion, not million, I'm not sure, to become AI first. So these are, once again, these aren't experiments. These aren't, you know, suggestions. Like, the industry is making a pretty rapid turn into AI. And I wanted to take a second to distinguish between the two main types of AI that people will see, that people see nowadays is, you know, generative AI versus agentic AI. And generative AI is stuff like ChatGPT, Claude, Sora, that type of stuff that you'll put a prompt in, you'll get a response, versus agentic AI, which is more so like, it's kind of like your own personal assistant, you know, where it can think a little bit deeper about some of the processes and also help you, you know, multi-step your development or anything that you're working on, projects you're working on. Full disclosure, I work in IT. I use AI pretty much every day at work. It helps me out. You know, I'm not, you know, stealing jobs or anything like that, but it definitely is a great tool for my day to day. So I think that that's a pretty big distinction, because I know when people hear AI, they think, oh, it's just going to be generating assets, or it's just going to be stealing art. And I want to try to like reframe that a little bit, because I understand the concerns for AI, and I'm not championing it for the industry or anything like that, but I think if we arm ourselves with information, people can better understand what's going on. That's all I would want to do. But I think this is just important, man, because Microsoft we've heard reports of Microsoft pushing AI into their studio pipelines, and they're big with Copilot. That's the one we use at work, which is their AI agent essentially. But this is pretty big news that I don't think this will be the last announcement we get from studios. I'm not surprised by EA. I don't think anybody should be at this point. But it's here, and this is where we are, man. Unfortunately. So before we get into like the nitty gritty of this stuff, man, how are you? What do you kind of think about some of this stuff? Like, do you think it's the end times? Is it, or is this just another tool for, hopefully, for developers to lessen dev times, to maybe help with load management and crunch? Where's your head at with these two very big announcements from these companies?
Man, per usual, per history, it's either you're on the right side of this or you're on the bullshit side. And what I mean by that is social media and everything is being overran by these stupid AI memes. I don't really find none of them funny. It's probably a handful of them that I find funny.
Yeah.
The majority of them is just, don't even get me started on the Martin Luther King bullshit. But, you're going to have people who are going to make a lot of money and profit from this. And then you're just going to have people who use it for bullshit. And you can't put the genie back in a bottle. I see people online complaining it's here. It's not going anywhere. And companies are greedy. We'll talk about Microsoft later, but companies are greedy. So if they could find a way to use this to their benefit, they don't care. They don't care how many data centers are going to suck your city's life in half. They don't care. So my thing is, all of that is true. All of it is bad, and we should be concerned.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like it's kind of a mixed bag of feelings for me. Like, I understand the people that are concerned.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like we do have to adapt because of the simple fact that it's not going anywhere. So it's almost like you're stuck in this moral dilemma, right? But as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to like video games and stuff like that, I can see it being applied in ways to where it could be beneficial.
Yeah.
But once again, it's all about who's doing it. And that's where the issue lies, right? I don't trust companies to do the right thing here. That's
Sure.
what I'm saying. I don't like, we could use it and we could implement it in these cool ways to make games better, all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. But will companies do the right thing with it? That's where my faith stops. Like, I don't think they will. We will be talking about Microsoft in a minute. It is all connected, but it's a trick bag, man. It's moving forward. It's very, very tricky in the territory into which we are moving into. It's very, very complex. There's no right answer here. There's no right or wrong answer here. Is it going to harm the environment? Yes. Like, I've told people a lot of times, like, I've told them, like, all these things are true, but it's tricky, man. There's no right or wrong answer here. I guess it's just, you can have faith in people doing the right thing, but yeah.
And
you know what I mean? Like, it's hard. It's really hard to answer that question, really. Like,
it is, man. And my whole thing is, I think there's one thing that we can all agree on here is that the current model of the game industry is unsustainable. You know,
Yes.
the rising costs of game development, the amount of time it takes for one studio to transition from one project to the next. You know, something I thought about a lot recently is if you look at the current structure of the industry, you know, where it used to be, studios would work on multiple projects at a time. So we would get, you know, games probably at a little bit of a quicker pace from studios, whether they were sequels or not, but we would get them a little bit more frequently, where now studios are essentially focusing on one project at a time, you know, hundreds of developers on a particular project. And this isn't just reliably just in the AAA space. This is AA gaming as well, indie gaming, which isn't really indie anymore. Like, people have to kind of understand that indie gaming isn't what it used to be. And you, just like you said, right? It just depends on people doing the right things with the tools that they have. And from my own experience, once again, I can only talk about my own experience here, you know, with agentic AI, is it's great for eliminating repetitive tasks. We all have jobs where there's repetitive things that we don't want to do, right? That's just true. You know, AI offers a path to remove those barriers to help, you know, you be more efficient with your work. And that's my hope for this. You know, I don't think we're far from the point of gaming just, you know, typing into chat GPT, give me the sequel, give me Black Ops 9, Call of Duty Black Ops 9, make it the best game ever. And it just spits out Black Ops 9.exe for you to put on a disc and sell to people. You know, that stuff, right. that type of stuff is unrealistic. And I hate when people try to push that narrative, because you don't really understand AI and what you're talking about, frankly. If I'm just being honest, like, you know, people don't take the time to, once again, arm yourself with knowledge, right? Even if it's something you disagree with, find out why you disagree with it. And do I agree with a lot of this stuff? I think that two things can be true. I think it will allow artists and developers to be a lot more efficient with their workload, and hopefully, like I said, hopefully reduce crunch and the time it takes for games to be developed. But at the same point, and this is what I'm seeing in the IT industry, it's making a lot of entry level positions harder to come by, because studios jobs aren't really listing those like that anymore. It's the same in IT right now, where you could get a job doing help desk or networking or cloud, you know, a few years ago, based off of just like one or two certifications, no lab projects. You know, you can get off the strength of that. But now, if you're not incorporating AI into your workflow, into damn near everything you're doing in IT, you're falling behind. That's just the truth. You know, I had this conversation with my coworker literally yesterday. And, you know, I think this is just the studios, these publishers' attempts to try to help mitigate cost. You know, because instead of spending $500 million, you know, $200 million on a project, maybe they can cut that in half or down to a third, you know, because, you know, AI can help with some of those repetitive tasks. I think this is going to evolve how people look at work in general. And just like you said, man, like, you know, if you're not, it sucks. I hate to say it, but this is the truth. If you're not on the train, you're going to get left behind, and it's unfair. Life is unfair, right? It is. But if I'm an artist, or if I'm someone who's in school right now for game design, you know, I would inform myself about these things and how I could use these things to better my work, or like I said, I'm not asking AI to draw for me. I'm not asking it to steal work from another person. But if it takes those repetitive things out of the way, like, I don't know if anybody's ever tried to UV a 3D model before. Yeah, you can look that up. That's hours of my life I wish I would get back.
Yes.
I hated it in school. You know, if AI could do that for me, great. Or painting weights to animate a 3D model. You know, like, that could help a rigger or an animator.
Or lighting.
You know, those types of things to assist with that, right? And once in Moonlight brings up a good point. Me and my wife were talking about iRobots. Funny you mentioned it, Moonlight. Literally this morning. And I told her, I was like, by the time that stuff comes around, our generation is going to be old. We're going to be old men and women, and the world would have that's not our world anymore. We're heading into an unprecedented era, just like when the steam engine was created for the Industrial Revolution. They probably had no idea where technology would be, 50 to 100 years from now. I have no idea what AI is going to do in 50 to 100 years. But currently, I mean, just like looking at some stats I found, Steam games using AI have increased 800% in 1 year alone. Like,
I didn't know that,
50,
huh?
around
They crept it in there.
50%. Yeah, around 50% of game developers are already using AI tools at work. Now that you guys' concerns are very valid, I'm not dismissing that. I have my own concerns as well. Like I said, I think it's going to be much harder for people who don't have experience already to get into the industry.
Unless you work for Cyberdyne.
To any industry. Yeah, or unless you work for Cyberdyne.
Y'all didn't get my nerd joke, Terminator?
Yeah. Okay. It could give itself a huge update, and then to that next week. That's not how it works, Moonlight. We're not that far yet. If there are truly sentient AI, it's probably in the very early stages and in some closed off facility we have no idea about. And the reason why I say that is because you're talking about terabytes and hundreds of terabytes of data being fed into these AI models from humans.
Yeah, we don't have that technology yet.
Yeah, and the amount that's just not, it's not sustainable. I promise you guys it's not sustainable. Currently. That could change in the future. But currently,
but you know what? The reason why I had to get my Terminator joke in is because, have you been following the director of Terminator? The original Terminators? Mm-mm. He has some very interesting theories about AI, and he is afraid, okay?
The guy they call the godfather of AI is as well. Mm-hmm.
He said that whatever we do, we should not integrate AI into any military tech.
I agree with
that. He said the two should be separated. He said the AI should not touch any military tech. They need to be separated. And he is afraid. Like, he's like, yo, like, no, we need to regulate that shit. Like, it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
AI shouldn't be in the military at all, is what he's saying.
I don't disagree with that.
But and he has some very interesting theories. Like, y'all can look it up.
Yeah.
I could post some links in the Discord. He has some very interesting theories about AI. And, like, he really think that they can, within, like you said, we can't do it now because of our limits or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Technology is limited.
20, maybe 15, 20 years. He's like, we are to the point where we can create Terminators probably in the next 20 years.
And then, and even that though, it would take some sort of monumental breakthrough, because I was reading, or not reading, so watching a TikTok, this young lady, she lives in England, and I can't remember what she does at some college, but she was talking about AI and the concerns that people are having about what will happen once we essentially run out of data to feed into these models. It's like, how do you get it to the next stage past just giving responses based off of things that we have given it? Because even when you guys, or even when I'm using AI at work, I always double check the responses I get. You have to, because it's not always accurate. They talk about a source of truth a lot in AI. Like, what's the source of truth? Can you trust and verify that this information that it's giving you is correct? And it has to be
Google.
Yeah.
Essentially, you're still going to use your Google. Like, I was watching one of my favorite podcasts, and he was like, yeah, you still have to Google and cross-reference this stuff, because people hear AI and they just think that everything that AI spews out is 100% true and real. But AI is just, what AI does is just, it scans the internet for information and it comes up with the best answer. And the best answer might not always be the truth. It may just be what makes sense to the AI. It
may try to find just the most relevant thing to how you frame your prompt. And that's how, prompting is, asking the right questions is so important. Yeah, that's something I've been learning a lot the last couple months as well. It's like how you frame the question to ChatGPT or to Claude, is important because one or two words can change your entire response, essentially. And,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, I think we're many years away from the sci-fi, the Skynets, the iRobots that people are thinking is going to happen. That's just not something that's currently feasible because, I mean, think about it. Even with I was watching the news this morning. Amazon is talking about how they're ramping and they expect that their sales will double within the next 10 years. And so instead of hiring 600,000 people, they're going to be focused more on robots and stuff in warehousing and
Automation.
think about, yeah, you look at those robots, right? Look at them. They're not the ones that are walking around out in the streets. They're simple,
Yeah,
like
it's not the
pick up
typical,
crane arm or a little drone thing that carries
the
a crate.
cartoony stuff that we think about, right?
Yeah, like you got to think about, like, how are they
They
going
got
to
them in
power
Quick
those
Trip.
machines, or how are they going to, yeah, like those are questions that
Have
have
you
to
seen
be
them?
answered.
Have you seen them in the gas station at Quick Trip?
No, I have not.
Over the Quick Trips over like in my neighborhood,
Hmm.
they have like robots in them. Like they're little robots. They come and they like sweep up the floor and like they
That's,
do like
I
little
mean,
bitty
once
minute
again,
tasks.
repetitive tasks. Who likes sweeping a
Hmm.
goddamn floor? I don't.
it sweep it. It sweeps and mop the floor. Like it's.
Yeah.
I almost tripped over one of them shits. I could have got a lawsuit.
I don't
Like
like
I
doing
was in
that
the
stuff.
aisle,
You know
just
what I
like what the
mean?
fuck.
That's my thing. Like repetitive stuff. Like there's things that everyone's job that they would much rather not do. You know what I mean? Like, and that's just interesting to me. Yeah, and I think that,
But once again, corporations, bro.
yeah, it
When we
all
get
comes
down
back
to
to
it,
trusting these companies to do right by their people and doing
and
right
I
by the
don't,
industry.
man. I hate to sound doom and gloom, but none of these companies has ever really given me a reason to trust them to
That's
do the
fair.
right thing.
That's 100%
So
fair.
yeah, you could implement it to do all these little minute tasks. I completely understand that because there's certain things I know we all can point out something at our job that's just so stupid. Like you like, man, I don't want
Hmm.
to do this crap. Like it's so dumb. But when it comes to if the company think they can make a profit or save money,
They're going to.
that's where it gets tricky.
Yeah.
That's where it gets tricky because then this is when we talk about potential job losses and stuff like that. When the company sees a profit, they're like, oh, well, we can make this do this and this and that, and we can cut out this.
And
So,
the problem with that, I've learned working in IT, is you have people at the top who don't understand AI at all.
mhm,
And they
yes.
just they impose their will on their coworkers without understanding what they're asking of their coworkers. And that's where the problem is. They think that AI is going to solve all their problems.
So you're saying that
And
they're too far removed.
yes, there.
We
Well,
talked about that.
I think I don't even necessarily think it's just being too far removed. I think they're just, like you said, they're more focused on profit and revenue, and that's, I mean, that's how their brain works, right? But you can't just tell your employees, hey, we need you guys to integrate this into your workflow, or it's, once again, it's something that I hear damn near daily at my job, man. Like, and it's just, I try to think about ways that I can enhance, not replace, things about my day to day. If it can help me enhance and be more efficient with my work, I'm all for it. There's certain things about IT I hate doing because it's repetitive that I have to do.
Hmm.
And I say, oh, you know what, Claude, hey, can you da 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 da? It gives me, spits out whatever it spits out. I double check and verify it, and I move on.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
about at the end of the day too. It's about being proficient because even like
Yeah.
when I'm editing, like just knowing your what you're using and how you can use it and how you can set up presets and
Yeah.
it's the same thing, but AI is just a little step further
Yeah.
because I think about a couple of days ago, I replied to one of Beezy's posts because he was talking about editing, and I'm like, because a lot of people do not like editing. Like
Yeah.
I'm probably one of the rare few people who like I don't mind editing. Like I actually enjoy it, but like you said, some of the stuff can get repetitive, and it's just like,
It's time consuming as well.
yeah, it's just like. But I mean, if you get a good playlist going and get you some soup, like it'd be easy for me. But anyway, like
Well,
at the
not
end of the
even from
day,
that point, right? Like imagine if you're like a parent like him who has a limited amount of time, or somebody who's working a full-time job. You know, you only have it like yourself. You work two jobs,
yeah,
right? Like I'm sure you would want some of those hours back that you spent editing the pod, or editing clips and trying to find great moments and stuff like that. Once again, if it can enhance,
hmm
not necessarily replace, because not everybody can afford a good editor. And I would want to pay someone what they're worth. I don't want to undercut anybody. I wouldn't want to, because that's
especially in
not,
these times, right?
especially in these times, right? But if I can take an hour or two off of my week editing stuff, that's great. Like that's how I look at it. And once again, I understand everyone's opinions is going to be different on this. Everyone's feelings are validated because, quite frankly, nobody fucking knows.
Right.
Everything I said sounds good in my head, but I could be 100% wrong, and I'm okay with that, right? Like that's what makes these conversations great, and these are the types of conversations that need to happen because we all learn from each other this way, and we can move forward better, right? Like Moonlight mentioned something earlier. She said, let me see if I can find it about, we're just kind of like normal people in the world and we don't necessarily affect change. In certain aspects, I agree with that. But how do you mitigate some of that is by arming yourself with knowledge and the people around you so you can make the best choice for yourself, your family, your job, whatever, your life, whatever. And
Church.
that's my big thing, has always been trying to not fall behind because it's hard enough out here as it is, and not everyone's going to have the same moral compass as you to want to do the right things. And I'm just going to tell y'all right now, I'm not going to put my family in a bad place because I didn't want to use AI at work. I'm not going to do that. I'll just be honest with y'all. I'm going to do everything I can to stay ahead of the curve, to stay competitive in my respective industry so I can stay employed, because like I said, those entry level jobs are probably going to be a little bit harder to come by in certain aspects. But if you're trying to at least understand how you can take advantage or how you can maneuver around this new landscape, this unprecedented landscape we're finding ourselves in, and be vocal too. If your favorite game studio decides to just AI everything in their studio, vote with your wallet. That shit works. It does.
Oh, with your wallet, and also, I mean, you got voices now.
Yeah,
Like,
be loud on the
let's use,
internet, man. Yeah,
yeah, let's use social media for something besides Martin Luther King memes. Like, give some people, because you will find a lot of like-minded people on Reddit, which
yeah,
is a strong place to go to, and start adding these people because a lot of these developers and stuff,
yeah,
two things they're going to have, or they either going to have a Twitter or they're going to have a Reddit. Like there's going to be a Reddit or
yeah,
something where you can go voice your opinion, get a group of people. There's ways that you can actually be heard. There's useful ways. I know you talked about this earlier, Darius. You kind of lean toward not using a lot of social media, and I understand,
yeah.
but when it comes to this can be like a positive way to use social media to affect change and have influence, because a lot of these devs and people, they have accounts and they listen too. Like
Yeah,
if you're coming from a respectful angle and you're not just like, hey, you're a trash person, your company, if you come with legit criticisms and stuff, a lot of times it goes a long way. Like
yeah,
look at damn, what game was that? I can't remember what game that was. Everybody was voicing their opinions. And I'm not just saying like, because a lot of people are crybabies. We talked about that earlier, gamer privilege and all that stuff. But we're talking about legit, like if you feel like AI is a problem or something like that, I would say get together in these social media spaces and create topics and stuff and kind of just jump out there and see what you
start
can
to be
do.
the
You'll be
voice.
surprised.
Yeah,
Yeah, be the voice that you want to be, and you'll be surprised. You can get results.
yeah. And I think one thing too, before we move on to the next topic, that people should be okay with is getting pushback on their opinions without getting offended. It's okay for someone to disagree.
Ooh.
Learn how to deal with that instead of just being angry or projecting, you don't know what the F you're talking about. You're a shill. You're this. Why do you, I would, start challenging people. Why do you feel the way you do? Start asking probing questions. And I promise you, you'll dismantle a lot of conversations like that. Why do you feel the way you tell me why you feel the way you do? Instead of just calling somebody out their name, have a conversation with them, man. Most people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Yeah, I agree, BZ. That's why I don't.
Yeah, that's why
I don't post a lot or say anything on Twitter, because people don't know what the hell they're talking about, and they don't want to have a conversation about that. No one does.
Because
No one wants to talk.
who don't know what they're talking about, they're usually just looking for an argument, or they're looking for some kind of bullshit engagement online,
or they're looking for engagement. Yeah, Moonlight. I encourage it, man. Like, when you start really asking those types of questions, be like, okay, so why do you feel this way? Or be like, hey, can you share with me the source of your information? They'll stop talking immediately. You'll
never hear from them again.
Yeah.
People are like, sometimes the internet is just a spear for low vibrating people to spew their bullshit.
Yeah, like,
but it's okay. I'm here for it. We can see. Darius is better than me. Like, I just wake up in the morning and I'll be like, I think I'm gonna be
because if I let somebody take me there, it's not gonna stop until I'm satisfied, and I know me. That's why I restrain myself.
You're a swell person.
Yeah.
Sometimes I could be at work, and in between assignments, I might fire off a good 20 tweets.
Yeah.
Poke the bear a little bit, and just see what's out there. Like, hey, I got somebody calling me a white knight right now because I said something about abs. Like, people just love pissing me off, but this is the world we live in. So to wrap that up.
That's my encouragement. That's my final thought on it. I know we're all not going to agree on AI. I'm okay with that. I'm not saying my opinion is right. That's just how I personally, like I said, these are my experiences. This is how I feel. This is the data that I found. And this is what led me to those conclusions. Yeah.
And we still love you, Moonlight. We know you like anti-Terminator. We get it.
And that's fair. She's right to feel that way, because it's, the unknown is scary, right? Like, we don't always know what the future holds. And when you're being told that, when you're conflating, people are conflating their arguments like, oh, well, this is going to eliminate all these jobs, or this and that, AI this, AI that. When you hear so many people talking that way, you start to get nervous for yourself and your family. It's like, I don't want to lose my job. Like, why should I have to deal with AI? You know what I mean? Like, it sucks. But that's why we have these conversations here, because everyone here knows how to be civil in their disagreements. And I appreciate that about our community.
Except for BZ.
No, BZ's fine. BZ's hilarious. I've seen him talk to some trolls online, and sometimes I be wanting to jump in too, but I be like, nah, he got it. I ain't gonna.
BZ is a stern father. You can tell.
Yeah, BZ a good dude, man. I don't like people be, see, once again, that's that old me trying to shaking the cage in my head. So.
Hey, sometimes they get like that. I wish I had more self-control.
Shaking, that old Darius be whispering to me like the Goblin Mask, man. I can't let him out. So.
Especially, let me tell you, days where I work both of my jobs, I come in and want all the smoke. Yeah. I be on some Thursday, Friday. Look, I be on some bullshit. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, man.
But hey, before we talked a long ass time. Look at what we did.
Yeah. I knew it
because we got to get on Microsoft. We got to get on Microsoft.
Let's talk about Halo now, guys. So we probably won't be able to get through everything, but we can at least talk about the announcement. Oh, wait, that's the wrong camera. Here we go. All right, so if you guys weren't aware, the Halo World Championships are going on for Halo Infinite. This is the last Halo esports tournament for Halo Infinite. A lot of good games. If you guys are interested in esports, great time to watch. You can watch it on YouTube, Twitch. Your favorite streamers probably, your favorite Halo creators probably watching it. We got this announcement yesterday that Halo Combat Evolved, that's Halo 1 for those of you unfamiliar, is getting a I don't want to say full remake, but the campaign's getting remade. And we got this announcement yesterday. And the biggest news of all is that it is coming to everything: PlayStation, PC, and Xbox. I don't know about Switch 2. I don't remember seeing Switch 2. But it could be. I just don't remember seeing Switch 2. But this is I don't want to say unexpected anymore. You know, Xbox has been moving in this direction for a while. And I actually heard rumors about this initially. I want to say a few months ago that they were remaking, like fully remaking the game. And so we got a trailer, like a roundtable discussion from some of the developers. This is Halo Studios, formerly 343, making this game. And what you guys are, for our viewers, for our audio listeners, there is a 13-minute demo of one of the first missions of the game out there. It's about 13 minutes long. This is what we're looking at now here. Big change for the studios that they're no longer using their in-house game engines. I think it's called Slipspace, if I remember correctly. They've moved fully to Unreal Engine 5, which I think is a great choice, considering the troubled development of Halo Infinite, to put that kindly. But before I give my thoughts, man, I want to hear what you think about this, because like we talked about before, I've never actually played or finished the first Halo campaign. I came in around Halo 2. But, you know, what are your initial thoughts on this, man? How are you kind of feeling? Do you care at all at this point? As somebody, you know, we
I was going to take my shades off, but when I saw that we were going to talk about this instead of Microsoft, I decided to leave them on because I'm about to be shady.
I mean, this kind of folds into Microsoft as well.
To my audio listeners, I am doing a exaggerated yawn. There we go. That's my yawn. Hey, man, I'm just going to say it. Fuck nostalgia. I'm just going to take it there. I look at this, and I am the biggest Halo fan ever. Probably. And this is not moving the needle for me for some reason at all. Like, it does nothing for me, because part of the reason why is because I'm so pissed at Infinite. Like, they just, it's just a big FU to Infinite. And I feel like Infinite had good bones, even though it started off as a disaster, which that's another topic for another day. But as a person who's played Halo 1 probably about 642 billion times, I don't want to see this shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even care if it's new graphics. They say it's supposed to be new missions.
Yeah, they're adding, I think three new missions or something they were saying.
I'm sorry, guys. I just got to speak my truth. I'm not here for this. This is just, what is it? This is like, because this is going to be on PlayStation also, right?
Yes. They have confirmed PlayStation.
Yeah, I think this is just like a little pew to PlayStation. Like, hey, look, Chief, son, we're here. This is like an intro to, I guess, all the people on PlayStation they think never played Halo. Just because you own a PlayStation, I'm pretty sure a lot of those folks played Halo, and the numbers are going to show too.
I'm curious. I'm really.
The numbers are going to show. I promise you. Like, this game, there's nobody, like, the combat is. Back in the day, this combat, let's not get it twisted now. Let's speak facts. Back in the day, this shit was the shit, okay? But now, when you compare it to this combat now, like, dude, I was just playing Battlefield campaign. Like, dog, combat has evolved so much. Get it? See what I did there? Combat evolved. I'm good.
Yeah.
But combat and stuff has evolved so much from when this game originally came out.
Yeah.
That I don't know. I don't know what the audience reaction to this is going to be. Now, my reaction is my reaction because I've played a shit ton of Halo. So don't take it as me totally being negative. It's just from my perspective of me just having so much Halo time. Like, I wonder how Dave feels. I wish Dave was in here to see how he feels about this.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at this, and I remember some of these missions were kind of long, and even back in the day, they were kind of like not the most exciting. Like, but when it does get exciting, it gets really fucking exciting. But I want to say it was the snow level. Like some of those missions were long and kind of drawn out for no reason. Now, I am curious to see what these new missions look like and what they'll add to the game. But my main question here is who is this for? I think that's the who is this for? Is this introducing the PlayStation folks to Halo? Is it supposed to be like bringing Halo people back in and getting them excited? Because there is no multiplayer. So what is that
Yes.
about? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. And then, like we spoke about earlier, like if there's no multiplayer, does this game cost 70, 60? Like, how much is this game gonna cost? I have so many questions, and I mean, I hope it does well, but this leads into Microsoft and Xbox, which we don't have time to talk about. It's just like, what is the roadmap? What are they trying to accomplish with this? Is my question.
Yeah.
Like, why did they make this? Like, what is the point? Like, are we going to get a trilogy? Because you might as well do two and three now, or you could have did a trilogy. If you're not
Ooh.
going to put a multiplayer, y'all could have made it a trilogy. Y'all could have just made a trilogy
Well,
pack with new missions
at
and
that point, then it would have just been the anniversary edition, the anniversary collection. Here's my thoughts on this. So next year is the 25th anniversary of Xbox and Halo, right? I think this is the initial thought process when I heard this announcement. I feel like Microsoft knows that they dropped the ball. It's a nice way I could put it. I was going to say something else. They dropped the ball on Infinite. It eventually came around, multiplayer wise. It eventually came around. I didn't finish the story for Infinite because it was awful. The campaign was boring. The everything looked the same. But in terms of like gameplay and multiplayer, I think that Halo Infinite is maybe fourth for me, third or fourth in terms of multiplayer, just multiplayer.
mm-hmm.
And I think
It's great.
this was a chance for them to let 343 reset and figure out what the fuck they wanted to do, while also I think this honestly is a tech test for Unreal 5. I think this was for them to get their feet wet in Unreal 5, figure out how the engine works, how they can make Halo work in Unreal. And just like you said as well, like, they're trying to probably introduce a lot of, because, once again, we got to talk about the younger generation of gamers that are buying consoles and stuff now, the Fortnite kids. You got to think about all those gamers. That this could be a potential entry point into this franchise for them. I don't necessarily feel one way or the other about multiplayer. I was surprised when you told me that this morning because I didn't know it didn't have the multiplayer. But I didn't really play Halo 1's multiplayer, so it doesn't hold any like significance in my chest for me or in my heart. But just like I mentioned to you in the error, they cannot fuck this up. Microsoft absolutely cannot fuck this up.
Microsoft has zero fucks to not fuck up.
Yeah.
Like
they
can't.
they can't mess this up. And if this is just the campaign and you guys are modernizing some of the combat, which is just from watching this video, it looks like that's what they're doing, like adding sprint and stuff. I know how certain people feel about sprint Halo. Get over it. No one wants to play a game where you're walking 2 miles an hour.
You don't want to be the sluggish
No,
chief, bro?
nobody wants to play shooters like that anymore. I don't. I'll just be honest. I don't want to play slow paced shooters. Halo in its nature already in the gunfights are slow paced. So why would sprinting doesn't change anything as far as gunfights, in my opinion. You don't sprint while you're shooting.
Oh, they got when you first fought him when he was invisible.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, so that's how I kind of feel about it. I'm slightly interested once again because I never played it myself. I know the story of Halo 1. I've watched it on YouTube a couple of times, but I've never actually sat down and played Halo 1. I could, the anniversary edition is right there on Xbox, but I didn't want to because it was an older game.
Well,
you know what I mean? That was just
and that's what I'm saying. And that, exactly what you just said is what I'm looking at now for our audio listeners. Like,
yeah,
we have the game pulled up and they're doing gameplay of it, and it doesn't do anything for me. Like, this looked like exactly what I played,
which is a good thing. I think I think that's a good thing. If it looks like it's something that you enjoyed playing, That's a positive for me because it looks like they're keeping faithful to the series. I'll give them that.
Yeah, that's where the new missions come in. And
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, it looks the same, it plays the same, but if they're adding new content to it, that's a big plus because you know, me personally, like I said, this is me personally, like a person who's invested a lot of time into Halo 1.
Yeah.
So this is why I feel the way that I feel. Someone who may have played through the campaign only once, maybe like, yo, I want to play it again. Yo, this looks cool. You know what I'm saying? But this is just my personal opinion because I've played a lot of Halo 1. Jesus Christ, I played that game so much. But yeah, and to move the conversation forward a little bit, right? I think it may be time, man. I always thought about, you know, Chief just hanging up his helmet, man.
But remember, they tried that before. Remember Commander Locke? They tried.
But people got to get
Chief.
over it. Well, let's be real. Locke was fucking trash.
He was one-dimensional. He was a lesser version of Chief, in my opinion. I agree with you on that.
He was just complete garbage. I think if we make a and then I think if they slowly drag it in, because they just made it seem like, oh, Master Chief's gone. You got to play this Locke character. And people was like, you know, he was just like, you know, a lesser version of fucking, what's his name? Luke Cage. He was like Luke Cage. Like he was just so garbage, man.
He wasn't interesting, you know.
He wasn't interesting at all.
I think. And
I couldn't even tell you his
don't
backstory.
know where the series and I agree with you, Winnie. Winnie says it sounds like a damned if you do, damned if you don't. I agree. You know, I think Halo is one of those games that you can't just Microsoft literally can't just get rid of the franchise. They can't retire the franchise. Hey, Microsoft wouldn't be where I don't think it's a stretch to say the first Xbox, original Xbox, would not have been as successful without Halo. That's just my opinion. I think that they would have. It would have been fine, but you talking about like in terms of like gaming icons, you can't just simply just turn the lights off on the franchise as a whole. And I'm glad they're not because, like I said, towards the end of Infinite's time, they have made a lot of really good choices in terms of multiplayer. They've listened to their community. And, you know, if you guys haven't watched any of the esports tournaments, I encourage you, please watch the one this weekend. Like it's been some really good Halo, like entertaining to watch, not hard to follow. Once again, Halo's already a slower paced game, so you know you don't have to necessarily worry about that stuff. But I think, I mean, and we're not gonna get to it like DC said. We're actually running out of time here, but Microsoft, the reports that came out of Microsoft is that they want their studios at a 30% profit margin, which is impossible in games. I'm just going to tell y'all that right now. If you guys don't believe me, look up the profit margins for PlayStation. They're hovering at about 17, I think, to 22% from what I saw. And they actually sell shit. Their games actually make money. So,
and that's correct. Like, where did they pull this number out of their ass?
Yeah. So if you guys are curious about a lot of the studio closures and stuff, maybe we'll actually lead with that conversation next week because there is a lot to talk about there. But
they just give me time to do more research. I've been having a blast.
There's a lot to talk about when it comes to Microsoft and their current plans for finances and their studios. But you know, this is supposed to come out sometime in 2026. When do you remember the original release date for Halo? I had a theory that they were going to try to drop it on that same day next year. So does anyone in chat remember? Chat, enlighten me. When was the original Halo 1 released? You think it's on? You think they will go games only or CPU? They're not getting out of hardware.
November 15th, 2001.
November 15th. So I think we would probably see it then. Microsoft isn't getting out of hardware. They've already said that they're working on the next console, but rumors suggest it's going to be a PC console hybrid. Once again, we'll talk about that next week. There's a lot to talk about with that. I think that the idea of a traditional console is done for them. And the way that we look at consoles going forward is going to be completely different. But that's just my
lock in
theory. So
lock in, tell a friend, because we are going to have one of our first in-depth discussions, deep in-depth. I have about 3 pages of notes here. I'm kind of glad that we're moving it next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad we moving it next week because it gives me a chance to refine my notes and really hit on the points that I want to talk about because
Hmm.
Microsoft is a fucking mess right now, man.
No,
It's
they're
crazy.
doing exactly what they've always done. People are
It's just out loud now.
Yeah, people just don't remember a lot of the shit Microsoft used to do back in the day.
$5 trillion company, y'all.
Yeah.
Just keep that number in your head.
I mean,
Five
like,
trillion.
you
You
know,
could end world hunger.
they have their services make more money than anything else that they do. So,
Which brings me to another topic I'm gonna add on to there. Subscription-based services are fucking ripping us in half. But hey, that's another topic
yeah.
for another time. The
But yeah,
state of the
so
courts.
in terms of Halo, man, I'm kind of lukewarm on this. I want to see what the price is going to be before I decide if I even look into purchasing this. I might just buy it on PlayStation just to be an asshole, but I don't know.
I
I
think
don't
you
know.
should.
Yeah, it might
With that
feel. It might just.
haptic feedback controller. And
Yeah,
look at
that's what I
that
was, and
gun
that's
ripping.
exactly what I was thinking. But I feel like if I buy it on PlayStation and pick the controller up, I'm gonna burst into flames. So I don't know if I'm gonna do that. But it just something
I feel
just
like
feels weird about it. It feels weird to say it's coming to PlayStation for me,
it's gonna
man.
be a secret level with Kratos on it.
Oh my gosh! Imagine if they put PlayStation Easter eggs in Halo. Oh my god,
Phil, you let us down.
the internet would lose it, man.
I'm
Um,
blaming Phil.
yeah, we'll talk about Phil next week too, man. I think it's time. I think it's time. I
Well,
do think
hey,
his time is coming to an end. I do.
we gonna have an Excel spreadsheet pretty much because it's a
Yeah.
lot. We're gonna have to really keep
Yeah.
this on track to get all this information.
Yeah. If you guys are
We can't
into
afford to go off the rails next week.
if you guys are into numbers and statistics and earnings calls and stuff, like that's a lot of the
Yeah.
conversation will be framed around our opinions on that. So, but that
And
is
we
to
jumping
say,
straight into it.
yeah, that is to say, man, I think we're gonna pause it here, guys. We're gonna stop the conversation here because we could spend honestly another hour or two talking about all this. But unfortunately, I have to go. So I just want to say thank you guys for hanging out for episode 248 of the Super Weapon Podcast. It's good to be back. You know, we're creeping towards the end of the year. So we would love to hear your opinions on AI. Let us know what you guys think, man. If we can continue this conversation in Discord, Twitter, wherever, man. I once again love talking to y'all about this stuff. I love hearing differing opinions because our opinions, once again, just because we host a podcast, our opinions aren't king around here. And I like to learn. So, please let me know what you guys think. And, I don't really have much else to say, man. Thank you guys for hanging out today. I hope y'all have a good weekend. I'll be back. We'll be back to our regularly scheduled program. Sorry we had to start a little bit late because never mind. I'll leave it alone. DC, you got the floor. I'll just leave it.
Well,
I almost went on a tangent about American insurance.
Yeah, we just be the train be hard to keep on the tracks, man. Because American insurance will make the train go flying.
Yeah. I almost said something I shouldn't have said on stream. So
Yeah. I mean, we could edit it out,
Nah,
we
it's fine.
live
It's
with
fine.
it, boop, But anyway, I'll make this quick. Guys, come on over to the Discord. Let's continue the conversation. Unfortunately, we will not be gaming after the pod because people have things to do with their family and loved ones. I'm trying to get my life together here. I've been hitting the gym.
Nice.
So I've been trying to get that back together, and it's just hard trying to cram so much stuff into just one life.
Yes.
Because I do have some stuff I really want to get out to y'all, but it's just been hard, but we're going to make it work. We're going to make it work. And, we just appreciate having you guys here. I'm going to keep it short so Darius can get up out of here. Hey, love you guys. Thanks for coming through.
Yes.
We love having you. Come please grab a friend. Come next week. Bring a friend.
Yes.
And because I feel like next week episode is really going to be important. We're going to nerd out. We're going to be crunching numbers. We're going to be doing all that. I'm excited for it because I have so many notes and we want to get you guys involved, man. We want to see what your thoughts on it as well. It's going to be a great episode next week and I can't wait. Peace. We got to get out of here.
Thank
Peace.
you guys. I hope you guys have a good weekend. We will see y'all next time. Later.